So what have been some of your greatest accomplishments while you've been city commissioner and a member of the state house, or maybe some of the biggest challenges that you faced?
In the legislature, I served 2 terms in the minority as a Democrat, but 2 big things that I'm proud of that happened in those 2 years was I was able to help pass a bipartisan compromise to raise Michigan's minimum wage, and we also expanded Medicaid throughout the state of Michigan during my, that was a vote I was able to really, it was like my most proudest vote was to know that we could start expanding healthcare to hundreds of thousands of Michigan citizens, and that has happened, and it's been just something that I look back on extremely happily. The issues of the district, I think, are very much educationally based for starters. We have, obviously a large K through 12 system that I believe has been under-resourced and underfunded for the last 8 to 10 years. We also have several institutions of higher education here, Western Michigan University, Kalamazoo Valley Community College, Kalamazoo College. So, that's really one of the things that's at the core of our community is higher education. So, in addition to some major industries, that's really where I think, a lot of what our concerns and issues come from. We all drive the roads in Michigan. The roads are terrible. And of course, whether we're going to have and keep healthcare expansion, I think is going to be a big issue too.
So we heard healthcare, education, higher ed, and K through 12. How will those translate into legislative priorities for you? And how do you think your legislative priorities would vary from your opponent, who's the incumbent, Senator Margaret O'Brien?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we've taken a couple of very different positions on some things. One of which was, gun safety is obviously an unfortunately ever-present issue that's coming up over and over again. And on that matter, she voted for bills in the state Senate that would have guns be everywhere, basically. Schools, churches, bars, stadiums. I can't imagine the kind of great idea it would be to have guns in bars and stadiums. So, I mean, that's, this is clearly a district where gun votes and NRA scorecard will be polar opposites. I mentioned the minimum wage expansion that Michigan did, and we're talking about raising the minimum wage again here. My opponent actually introduced bills that would have lowered the minimum wage for workers under 20 and voted against the minimum wage compromise, the bipartisan compromise that the rest of us passed. So, there's some clear contrast there. And the last thing I want to mention is that before the 2016 November election, but after the comments about President Trump's groping came out, she still said that she was on board with him and was supporting him for president. And I don't think that's changed at all. So we have obviously a very clear, different view about the presidency and how it's going.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and so much more to come with Sister District and your campaign.
Thank you so much.